Okay, hi everyone. At this moment, I am just designing some assets for my upcoming YouTube video. So right now I have my character. This is when she's falling asleep. This is when she's awake. She's turned into a statue. This is like, I'm going for like almost like a video game theme. So yeah, I've got this shadow, but I feel like it makes it look like she's standing up, so I might just get rid of that. And then this is just what the bedroom design looks like at the moment. But I am just creating some assets for my animation video. And it's going okay so far. So at the moment I am just following my storyboard. So I've done my character sleeping. So that's done. The character awake like a statue. That's done. Now I need to draw like the different icons that is around her. So I'm just going to name these additional icons. Then I'll see how that goes. I'm just going to do like a quick sketch around. So I need a picture of a snail. I don't know how to draw the snail in the best way possible, you know. So I don't draw snails every day. But I need to draw the time. I'm just figuring out the placement of like how I want everything to go. And then this one is going to be, what did I draw there? For my character sleeping and that part. Then there'll be like a sleeping icon. And then a snail. So all of the assets that are just like around the character right now is very like circular, which is fine. Try and draw a snail. There we go. Give it some little snail ears. Whatever snails have. Alright, that's a bit creepy. Okay, that should be able to work. Alright, that's just a sketch so far. Oh, thanks for joining the live, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm just doing like some sketches for my upcoming animation video that I'm working on. And then now I'm going to figure out the sizes of how I want everything to go. So I think I'm going to have obviously have the sun be yellow. So I'm going to make a yellow sun. I'm going to double check and see if I created a new layer. Yes, I did. And what I'm going to do is, because I want everything to be a consistent size, I am going to copy and paste the same circle going around it. And then that should be fine. And then I'm just going to like rename the layers. So the original one was this one. No. Oh, where is it? This one. So I'm going to name this one. Oh, just changing the names of my layers. Let's change the name to the sun. This one is going to be the time. For those of you that are just joining, I am creating the layers for my upcoming animation video to post on my YouTube. Hopefully I could post it this weekend, but see how it goes. Because I've been delaying it. I'm like, no, I need to post it. I haven't posted a YouTube video in so long, and I miss drawing and want to do more of it. Thank you all for joining. I think I'll start off with the sun. Okay, so I'm going to just zoom in. And then I'm going to give the sun its own layer. So I'm just going to join these two together, click layers and group. And then I'm just going to draw the sun rays. Actually, no, I can't really see that. I'm going to change the size of my brush. And sorry for the screen shaking, it's just my table moving as I move my iPad. But I hope you all are having a good evening or good morning, wherever you're watching from. I like that. That's the sun rays. Actually, no, wait, it's quite... No, I'm going to redo it quickly. Let's see if I can make it better. I feel like this should look nice. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. You know, add some character. Then I'm just changing the colour at the moment. I got a darker shade of yellow. Actually, make it a bit brighter. Yeah, I should be fine with that one. And I'm just drawing some lines for the eyes. I think that is super cute. It's a cutie pie. A cute sun. And then I'll just give it some depth as well. So I'm going to turn it into a clipping mask and give it some highlights. Yeah, I think I should be happy with that. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to try and use the Gaussian blur and see how that works. Okay, so if I do that, can't really see it. Might have to make it a bit darker or up to 4. And then I am going to go to hue and saturation and make it a bit darker. No, okay, I don't like that actually. Yeah, no, I'm going to redo that one. I'm going to clear the layer and then try again. Hi everyone, thank you for watching. If you're just joining, I am creating some of oh my goodness. Okay. If you're just joining, I am creating the assets for my upcoming animation video. I like to write stories and then try and draw them myself and then animate them. I personally love to draw and would like to get back more into it. Okay, so I've got the shading there. But the thing is, it's not that noticeable. No, it needs to be a shadow. That's where I'm going wrong. There we go. Okay, let's try again. If it doesn't work, then... No, I think that works better. Okay, I'm going to try that for now. Then, what I'm going to do is copy this layer, flatten it. Then, I'm going to change the brightness to darkness and then make it 3D. Add a bit of a blur to it, so I like to use the Gaussian blur. And then change the opacity to like 20% for now. If I remove the layer behind, it's okay. I've decreased it to 10%, that should be better. Okay, next I would do the sleeping emoji. Just going to group those layers together and give it a new name again. I'll just call it sun this time. Okay, now the sleep icon. I think I should give it, should I give it a different colour? Yeah, give it like a blue. Yeah, I'll say blue's fine. Yeah, that is perfect. Okay. This time, this one is just like sleeping. There we go. We've got a cute face. I like it. Okay, the eyes. Am I okay with that? No, sorry, I gotta redraw that one again. There we go. Okay, I'm fine with that. And then I'm going to add some shading. So I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to fill it in, and then I'm going to add some blur as well. I think that should be fine. It should work out great. And then, yep, I'm going to add some shadow. I'm going to group all the layers together. And then I'm going to copy the layer and then paste it. Then what I'm going to do is go back to hue and saturation and make the colour darker. Then I'm going to slightly move it to the corner, so the shadow, add a bit of blur up to like 5%, and then I'm going to change the opacity layer to about 10%. There we go. So it's up to 10 now. And then let's move it to the side slightly. Now we can't really see it, but then I'm going to increase it again to 20. Yeah, I increased up to 16. But you know, I'm going to move it to 15. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, yeah, I like the 3D elements. And then what I'm going to do next is draw the time. So I'm just going to draw like the clock there, and then there's going to be a snail there as well. And then that'll be like one part of the video done. So how it's going to work is like these icons will be like animated in. So it'll be like almost like an info motion graphic video mixed with like frame by frame animation. I'm going to do the clock in like a green colour. So let's group these layers again. Give it a name so that I don't accidentally delete it or anything. Let's go with like, let's test out the screen colour. Yeah. Yeah, let's try that one. Okay. And then I'm going to go with like a darker green. Let's see. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I was going to draw like the number 12 and the number 3 and then call it a day. Yeah, I'm happy. No, wait there. Should I draw like a circle in the middle? No. Or if I do like the standard like 10 to 2. No. Let me go back to 12 to 3. Okay. Now I am very picky with how I draw my lines. Okay, one last time. No, okay. Come on, please work. Yes, okay. I'm sticking with that. I'm thinking, should I do an outline? Oh, no, I'm going to, oh my gosh, what is happening? Okay. I'm going to extend the number 1. There we go. I'm going to add some shading again as well. I'm going to clip and mask. And then I'm going to add some blur. There we go. I like that. I'm not mad at it. And then I'm going to group these together. So group, then I'm going to duplicate, flatten the layer, and then here in saturation and just make it darker. And then I'm going to move this to the middle slightly. Add some blur. Oh, that's a lot. And then that's going down to like 10%. Yep. There we go, I'm happy with that. And then now I'm going to draw my snail. Let's see how this works. I have never drew a snail. Okay, what colour do I want the snail? I don't know, should I go with pink? No, this is like a purple. No, that is too much. Orange. I think this can work. Okay, I'm going with this orange colour. I'm going to see how that works. Okay. Oh, sorry. I just kicked the table. My apologies. Okay, let's see how this goes because I've never drew a snail before. Okay, so to my knowledge, they've got like their ears that go up like this. And then, oh, I'm going to move this slightly to the left. There we go. That looks cool. And then I'm going to draw its tail. How does his tail look? Please do not be weird. Okay, let's see how that works. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. Does it look terrible? I feel like I'm going to try and give it some cute eyes. Okay, I think that works. And then I'm going to draw its like shell. Okay, yeah, I'm actually fine with that. Going to group it together, duplicate it, and then flatten this layer again, if it allows me, yes. And I'm just making the layer a bit darker. I'm going to move it so it creates like a shadow. Add some blur. And then let's see. Oh, sorry, let me fix my pen. The tip of the pen was kind of like moving. And there we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, yep. Going to group it together. Give it a new name, call it snail. And bam. Okay. So I was copying, where is it? This part. I'm now going to do the could I sleep, yes or no. Wait. Let's go back to here again. There we go. Okay, I'm fine with that. All of that part's done. And then what I can do now is add text that says, could I sleep? Could I sleep? And then I'm going to change like the font because I am not kind of happy with how this is looking. I think that's fine for now. Now the colour, I think I'll go with blue for now. To draw the text box and see how that goes. Oh no, I did it on the same layer. No. Okay, let's try this again. And yep. Well, thank you all for joining. This was just a quick test live. Just helping me get back into the swing of drawing. Thank you all for joining. That kind of rhymed. I hope you all have a good evening or good morning, wherever you are watching from, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.